Good afternoon from the M Group Stadium in Oxford for the FA Women's National League plate final between Cheltenham Town and, of course, AFC Bournemouth. Women hoping to add more silverware to what has already been a record-breaking season. I'm delighted to be joined by fullback Charlotte Harris alongside me. You must be quite frustrated to be sat next to me on a day like today.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be here and still support the team, but yeah, we've had a few eligibility issues where if we didn't play in the semi-final, we couldn't play in the final. So as a new signing and in February I joined, just after we played the semi-final. It means I can't play, but glad to just be here and still watch and support.
What's the week been like this week? You've had a full week to be able to train ahead of this after 3 games in 8 days. That must be nice that you're able just to focus on one game, especially a game like this.
Yeah, and it's definitely, you know, obviously we want to win the plate and that's important, but I think we're almost more excited to play against a Tier 3 team and just get an insight into what next season looks like. So it's been great to have the Wednesday and Friday to really get analysis on Cheltenham, see what they're all about, and really focus on things in training that we can hopefully implement into this game.
Well, Bournemouth this afternoon line up as follows: Erin Foley in goal, then we've got the captain, Abby Jones. That is quite loud. Phoebe Williams, Molly Barron-Clark, Gemma McGuinness, Katie...
There we go.
Well, I was trying to read out the lineup there as we had the loudest tannoy system in the world. But Gemma McGuinness, as the players now come out onto the pitch. Katie James, Ellie Stripple, scored against Moneyfield just a few weeks ago to all but seal Bournemouth's attempt to get up to Tier 3. That win against Bristol Rovers, getting the title. I mean, in front of 7,000 fans that day at the Vitality, those are the moments that you treasure.
Oh, it's a feeling I'll never forget, and I've said it multiple times. It was just such a special moment, and to do it with so many fans. We're so lucky at this club to have such loyal supporters and people from, you know, far and near, family and friends. So, I mean, yeah, it was incredible.
Please welcome our guest of honour, Sue, Chair of the FA Women's National League Board, and Lawrence Jones, Head of National League Pyramid Leagues, who will now be presented to the teams and officials.
Let's go, Bournemouth!
Players all lining up either side of that big sign, the plate final, where Bournemouth and Cheltenham's logos sit proudly. We'll try and go through the teams again, and hopefully the tannoy doesn't have a go this time. So as follows: Erin Foley, Abby Jones, Phoebe Williams, Molly Barron-Clark, Gemma McGuinness, Katie James, Ellie Stripple, Jenna Markham, Kelsey Bowers, Kenny Thompson and Amber Trewick. For Cheltenham Town, it's Caris Pugh-Jones, Abby Haitley, Meg Attenborough, Libby Bell, Henna Butcher, Finn Llewellyn, Lily Wellesley-Davis, Emily Owen, Ella Pemberton, Doris Greenwood, and the one to watch out for the Robinesses this afternoon, Una Liu, who has been really tearing it up so far in Tier 3. Is she a player that you've focused on in training this week as a goal threat?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from what we've seen in the analysis, she's got great statistics this year, and to get those, you know, that many goals in a competitive team and competitive league like Tier 3 is definitely someone that we want to try and minimise her touches on the ball, and I think our back three are fully prepared to face any threat she's going to pose today.
Just rounding up on the bench this afternoon, it's for Bournemouth: Katie Scanning, Maisie Smith, Alicia Buckingham, Ali Hall, Chloe Gilroy, Ellen Bloomfield. And for Cheltenham, Mia Smith, Anais Trincy, Maisie Collis and Ellis Brooke, as we're about to have the national anthem. Impeccably observed, and some very vocal supporters.
No, I told you they're loyal. They'll be here.
Women's National League Plate Final, starting with AFC Bournemouth. 13, Erin Foley. 2, Captain Abby Jones. 8, Phoebe Williams. 10, Molly Barron-Clark. 11, Gemma McGuinness. 14, Katie James. 16, Ellie Stripple. 22, Jenna Markham. 24, Kelsey Bowers. 25, Kenny Thompson. And 27, Amber Trewick. For Cheltenham Town, 30, Caris Pugh-Jones. 3, Abby Haitley. 8, Megan Attenborough. 10, Libby Bell. 12, Henna Butcher. 13, FAWNL. 14, Lily Wellesley Davies. 15, your captain, Emily Owen. 16, Ella Pemberton. 17, Doris Greenwood. 21, Una Liu. Your match officials for today: referee Alice Parker, assistant referees Daisy Griffin, Jessica Knapp, and fourth official Lola Pollard.
Well, the good thing about that, Tamoy, is that when somebody scores, we'll at least know exactly who
Exactly,
was it
yeah.
very, very quickly.
We won't have to be guessing or get it wrong.
The two sides now just getting ready to take on each other in this plate final. It's a national competition. This would be a huge statement of intent if they got the victory today.
100%. I think not only is it on a national scale, as I said earlier, it's against a Tier 3 team, and because we're going into that league, we want to make sure that teams in that league know that we're going to compete, and you know, we may be a Tier 4 team, but I think we have a great ability to compete in that league, so hopefully we can show that today. And
Cheltenham are a side that are a bit of a staple in that division, in mid-table. It'd be, you don't want to say that they're lower mid-table, even though that's where they are, because that division is so tight in terms of just a couple of victories, and you could be looking at fourth, maybe fifth place. But you must take great courage and positivity from the fact that Exeter City, who you really ran close last season, are where they are in the division, currently third in the league. You can see that you can definitely go up and compete as well as they have.
Yeah, and we would hope to mimic that. I think, you know, Exeter did really well last year, and, you know, arguably we had the same record as them when we drew with them, so I think it's a credit to the girls that they can see that a team of our ability can go up and compete in a really, really tough league. You know, Tier 3 has some great teams in there, and yeah, I think we're just excited to hopefully put our name out there and show that, yes, we've been successful in Tier 4, but we're so much more than that too.
The two captains, Emily Owen and Abby Jones, break away and join their huddles as Alice Parker just waits for that to finish.
It's time for the FA Women's National League Plate Final. AFC Bournemouth versus Cheltenham Town.
It's like a third commentator. There's three of us today.
I know, you're getting a third commentator for free.
Yeah, I know.
Live on AFCB TV. It's the FA Women's National League Plate Final. Bournemouth against Cheltenham. We are just moments away from kickoff. Anticipation in the air. And Una Liu gets us underway, and it's a long ball forward that Abby Jones is going to have to deal with the bounce awkwardly. She does. Pemberton. Cheltenham try and see if they can start well, but Thompson's managed to pick up the loose ball. Jones. That ball is evading Stripple, goes out of play. 24 seconds gone here at Marsh Lane, home of Oxford City. Cheltenham have only had to make a 40-mile journey, whereas Bournemouth have made the 100 or so miles up to Oxfordshire. They'll be hoping to come away with some silverware to add to their collection so far this season. Of course, they've got the Hampshire Cup final to look forward to as well. Flicked on. Attenborough hits that out of play, and the first ball into the crowd so far. I think we'll have quite a few of those today. Jones. Picked up by Thompson. Nice quick
Great
feet
touch.
there.
She's so good at that. Her technical ability is crazy. So good 1v1.
Kept in on that far side as Bournemouth try and put together their first attack of the afternoon. Williams not able to turn and almost goes to ground. Manages to keeps her strength. Opportunity to get the ball in the box here for Bournemouth. Nice quick feet towards the edge of the box. It's intercepted, although Bournemouth will try and keep it alive. First shot of the game, and it's gone wide. It's only taken a minute and a half, and Bournemouth have already struck at Cheltenham, and it was good work around the edge of the box.
You always want to be the team to get the first shot off, so I think hopefully we'll be happy with how we've started, and we just need to keep it up.
Karis Pugh-Jones with the goal kick. Has played every minute so far of the plate this season. Was the hero in the semi-final, saving a last-minute penalty against Southampton to book the Robinesses' place in today's game. Una Liu can't quite flick that on, and Abby Jones' equal shove to the floor. No free kick. It takes quite a lot to push Abby Jones to the floor, but nothing doing, says the referee, is Phoebe Williams, the former Southampton midfielder manages to play it over towards the right-hand side, and Hugh Jones is under no pressure whatsoever as she gathers that one. What do you make of that challenge on Abby Jones there? It takes quite a lot to get her to the floor.
I was going to say, you've worded it perfectly. She does not go down easy, so I think, you know, she'll make sure that she'll get one back on her later on in the game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Cheltenham really with their first foray forward. Doris Greenwood with quick feet, trying to get the ball into the box. Is it going to be flicked on at the front post? It's kept stopped from going out for a corner, but it will be a throw on that far side. Doris Greenwood already showing tricky feet down that left-hand side, but Bournemouth able to deal with it at the front post. Butcher. High into the ground, Bournemouth get that one clear. Absolutely no chances taken with that clearance from Katie James.
I think that's smart, though. I think in the first 10 minutes, just do the basics right.
Aaron Clark. Well, has it gone out? It has. Just for a moment, hearts in mouths there for Molly Barron-Clark as her clearance cannoned off the Cheltenham forward. For a moment, it might have stayed in play, but thankfully for her and her teammates, that time it didn't. Thompson, her touch a little bit loose, but able to get the ball back. There's a run through, and this might be the first chance for Bournemouth, but it's well dealt with. Stripple gets the ball back, and will drive it at goal at the far post. It's just missed. 4 minutes gone here in the final of the women's plate, and Bournemouth coming close yet again through Ellie Stripple.
Jenna is such a threat up front. She's got so much pace, and to have such creative players around her, I think hopefully we'll be able to keep causing them problems.
Charlotte, is this exactly the start that Steve Cuff would have been wanting?
Yeah, I feel like we are on the front foot, and you know, we pride ourselves on being a really hard-working team, a really fit team, and I think if we can outwork these today, we'll have a real chance of winning the game.
Ellie Stripple just charging down that potential clearance. Of course, Cheltenham applying their trade in Tier 3. They'll be Bournemouth's opponents next season as they go short from the goal kick again. This time they're able to get out of that. Lou finds Butcher on the left-hand side, and that first touch is going to go out of play, and Bournemouth with Bowers can deal with that. Stripple. Pass in field, intercept Markham, can't quite bring it down, but Stripple will try yet again. Is she fouled? She is.
Yeah. Ellie's another player that doesn't go down.
No.
Easy, so.
Well, I remember against Moneyfield, she came off the bench, and one of the first things that happened was the ball got smashed into her face, and she got up straight away and then went and scored.
I know. That is, that is Ellie in a nutshell.
Tenacious.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a chance for Molly Barron-Clark to get this ball into the penalty area. It's going to bounce all the way through and straight into the gloves of Karis Pugh-Jones. Rolls it out immediately, and Cheltenham will try and get forward themselves. Kenny Thompson, again, just closing down immediately, stopping any quick breakaway. Attenborough, as Cheltenham work it forward, Abby Jones says no to that. And Bournemouth are able to break through. And just there, McGuinness had the ball taken off her toes. Good defending there from Cheltenham, but eyes lighting up there for McGuinness. Aaron Clark in search of Jenna Markham. Can she keep the ball in play? She can. Lets it go out of play, and it will be a throw to the Cherries. Just short of 7 minutes gone. It's all Bournemouth at the moment as they try and work it down that right side. The whistle goes and danger over for the time being.
See Cheltenham just trying to slow it down. I think that props to us that we've been on the front foot. Probably just trying to catch their breath a little bit.
Well, they've certainly, Bournemouth, turned up the heat straight from kick-off, and Cheltenham are really struggling to deal with it just at the moment as they win a foul in the middle of the pitch. I suppose, Charlotte, with this pressure that Bournemouth are able to put on, what they really want is to at least get themselves a goal to come off the back of this pressure, because Cheltenham being the side they are, they will come back in the game, they will have their moments. So whilst, you know, the foot is on the gas, as it were, they want to make sure that they can come out of that period with an advantage.
Yeah, and I think inevitably there's going to be nerves going into a big game like this, and, you know, a goal settles everyone down, well, all of Bournemouth down. We do pride ourselves on scoring early in a lot of games, so I think if they keep putting on pressure, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that.
First real aerial delivery to deal with, and Abby Jones dangerously put her head where the danger was as the high foot came in. Markham tries to flick it on. Stripple not able to get on that one. Williams gets it back for Bournemouth. Goes for the crossfield switch, picked up by McGuinness. It's a heavy first touch, but she able to get control and sidestep Butcher well. Finds Williams. Good passage of play here for Bournemouth. Jones, Thompson. Trewick. Loose touch there from Katie James, and now Cheltenham are going to try and see if they can make any headway. Goes the way of Bournemouth. This being the 10th final of the FA Women's National League plate. Neither Cheltenham or Bournemouth have ever competed at this stage. No side has won it more than once as Cheltenham try and break forward now. And here comes Lou racing towards the edge of the box. Can she get a shot away? It's low. Erin Foley, in the form that she's in this season, will have absolutely no problems gathering that one. She must be quite disappointed to have conceded just a couple.
I know, and I think that just shows how well she's done. You know, we unfortunately conceded against Swindon, and then, you know, the week before Worthing, and, you know, whilst we still had a draw and won that game, it just shows the standard that we set for ourselves, that we don't want to concede goals, we want to win every game. And, you know, it's sometimes difficult to stay so switched on and in games where we're dominating, but she does, and she's really come in big for us when we've needed her. So yeah, she'll, especially
against Moneyfields as well. Not having a great deal to do aside from the goal that they scored, and then of course the penalty in the last minute, enabling to save that as well. That moment as Baron Clark is going to have another delivery into the box, leaves it for Thompson. It's put into a dangerous area. Cheltenham get on the end of that one. Wellesley Davis up the line. Butcher is brought to the floor. That's quite an easy free kick for Alice Parker to give.
Yeah, I think Jenna knew she had to do that. With the pace they have up front, it was just a tactical foul, and I honestly agree with the decision she made. She had to stop them from getting forward quickly when we were exposed at the back.
Well, Hannah Butcher, if you're looking at Unaloo, Hannah Butcher, another one to keep an eye on. The 23-year-old's got 20 goals in 69 appearances for Cheltenham after joining in 2022 from Keynsham. Certainly got goal scorers in their team, do Cheltenham. Wellesley Davis is going to be the one to put this into the mixer, and Bournemouth have got another aerial battle to deal with. Abby Jones has so far been equal to the ones that have come her way, and it is going to go back towards Jones, and the bounce just evaded the Cheltenham forward. Stripple. Williams finds McGuinness, and now Bournemouth can break forward. This is looking dangerous for the Cherries. Trying to find Markham. Markham gets it into the penalty area, and it doesn't fall to a Cherries foot. It might come to Thompson. Turns. She will shoot towards the money corner and finds it! And Bournemouth lead in the final! They broke away spectacularly, and Kenny Thompson, with a shift on the edge of the box onto her left foot, has guided it into the bottom corner. What a start for Bournemouth.
That was a great finish. And it just shows, this is one thing that this team does so well, is they keep the play alive. There was multiple times where Cheltenham had a touch and we maybe could have lost momentum, but, Ellie, Jenna, Phoebe all fighting to keep it alive. And, yeah, great hit by Kenny.
And you have to say, Charlotte, Bournemouth have absolutely deserved it. They've been on top since the first minute.
Yeah, and I think there's been other times where we maybe could have done, a little bit better in the final third, but I mean, that just epitomises how we play. We work hard, we fight to get the ball, and we've got such quality up front.
And there's the tan on too, definitely.
Kenny Thompson.
No doubt about that. It's Kenny Thompson who's given Bournemouth the lead in the National League Plate final.
I'm so happy for her too. She's had a little spell of injury, so to come back and, fight for her place in the team and then come and get a goal, it's thoroughly deserved.
And it's a great finish as well to really guide it into that bottom corner, away from the grasp of Karis Pugh-Jones. Not necessarily a lot of power on it, but it's the precision to get it in there.
And all she needs is an inch. She's so quick, and as long as she can get half a yard from her defender, she backs herself to go towards goals. So I'm glad she did take the shot on, and yeah, she's got a great left foot, so why not?
Well, that's the first ball lost of the afternoon as it goes behind the dugout. We do have an A road behind that as well, so fingers crossed that there's no balls going into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, watch out if you're driving. Keep an eye.
But Bournemouth lead by 1-0 live on AFCB TV in the Women's National League Plate final as they win a free kick on that far side. Another chance for Baron Clark to put this into the mixer and put real pressure on Cheltenham, who so far don't have an answer for what Cherries have thrown at them.
Got a history of doing well on set pieces too. Molly's great at delivering them, as is Kenny, whoever takes it, and we've got some real height up front too, who can, score volleys or headers, so hopefully this will be a good one.
Well, goal scorer Thompson has her eyes on this one as well, or will she leave it for Maury Baron Clark? It is going to be Thompson with the delivery. It's going to bounce in the near post, and it might go all the way through to the goalkeeper. It does.
Goalkeeper did well there, to be fair. Then bouncing balls difficult to deal with, so.
Well, it bounced right on the edge of the 6-yard box. It's a fantastic delivery from Thompson, because that's going to put real fear into the eyes of the Cheltenham defenders when the ball just drops in that area, and all it takes is just a toe poke, and that finds its way into the back of the net.
Yeah, as a defender, I hate them balls, them ones where you don't know where to clear them or leave them for your goalkeeper. So, yeah, I thought the goalkeeper did well, but it was definitely a dangerous ball.
Thompson trying to find the head of Markham, and Cheltenham get that one up towards Unalu, who brings it out the sky beautifully.
Yeah, it's a great touch. She's definitely a dangerous player.
Referee says play on. Butcher, is she going to line up the shot? She tries to play it through, and this might be a chance if they can keep it in. It's a bit too much pace on that one, but for a moment Butcher had threaded it through the Bournemouth defence, and that was looking dangerous.
I think that first goal definitely settled the nerves, but Cheltenham aren't going to give up this easy. They know they've got the quality to compete against good teams, and I'm sure being in a Tier 3 division, you had to come and play from 1-0 down, so they'll be used to situations like this.
Spoke about a good touch from Unalu. That one from Stripple just as good as Phoebe Williams loses the ball. And then Molly Baron Clark tries to get it forward, and now it might be played through by Hatterley, and she might get the rebound. Abby Jones says no. Little mix up in the middle. It's well found to Stripple, the first time ball, not able to get out of her feet. Lou away from Trewick. Cheltenham now trying to have a chance of their own, as Abby Jones said.
It's great defending by Abby.
Great strength there from Bournemouth captain.
She's so strong and she's so quick. She'll deal with that all day.
It's almost like she took offence to being pushed to the ground.
I told you, didn't I? I said she's not going to let that one slide. She was probably feeling out her winger, see how aggressive she was, and she said, right, I'll give you that one. But
well, she's put her side in trouble. Henna Butcher off the clearance will shoot straight at Foley, who saves it at her near post. Bournemouth almost shooting themselves in the foot there, but Erin Foley doing well to stop that one from Henna Butcher.
Go, Bournemouth! Let's go!
Bournemouth have had the lead since the 11th minute through Kenny Thompson, but Cheltenham just starting to come back into the game, the Robinesses under Tom Davis, who took charge of his 125th game in their 2-0 win against Lewis last weekend. And Bournemouth have played it over the top, and Jenna Markham's going to pick that one up. Tries to get it back into the box where Stripple was lurking. Jenna Markham's finding a lot of pockets of space at the moment in the penalty area.
Yeah, and she's doing great as well, because I think having Ellie in there playing up front with her is great for Jenna. Ellie wants it to feet, she wants to get on the ball and dribble at people, and whilst Jenna has that ability to, she's so quick. Honestly, one of the fastest players I've played with. So to have that balance where Ellie can come in short and then Jenna can go in behind, I think it's really working in our favour.
Stripple. Oh, it might almost drop there for Markham. Bit of a lapse in communication between the keeper and the defenders there, but Cheltenham do get it clear, only out for a throw. Baron Clark again throwing it straight into the penalty area, and it's going to be awkward, and Harris Pugh-Jones able to pluck that out of the sky, but Bournemouth trying the same ball into the box, and it's causing chaos each time.
And our forwards are so willing, you know, even if they know they can't win it, they'll get in there and they'll try and put the goalkeeper off, and you never know with rebounds. So yeah, they do a great job of chasing anything up, and I know our coaches always say, you know, make it a good ball. So even if the pass isn't great itself, they can make it look like a good ball and we can still win something from it.
Baron Clark and Butcher just going head to head as Phoebe Williams tries to win that ball, and Kelsey Bowers has just got to let this roll out of play if she can. She does legally. Cheltenham weren't too enamoured with that decision. I have to ask you, Charlotte, after just coming up to 20 minutes, how much are you hating being sat here and not on the pitch?
I'm so jealous, honestly. I'm so happy for them, and you know, this is such an experience, and I think the club have done an amazing job. You can see on the stream that these are our away kits that usually don't have our numbers or our names on, and the club have put the numbers and the names on it, and the front they've actually put the FAWNL on. So this will be an amazing memory for all the girls participating, and yeah, I'm glad to celebrate them, but I am very jealous that I'm not able to be involved.
Well, Cherries lead by a 1-0 thanks to Kenny Thompson as they win it high up the pitch. Stripple, who switched over to right of centre, but wins a foul. Didn't look like there was much in that, but Bournemouth have got a free kick in a very dangerous position, and Molly Baron Clark has already picked up the ball, and no prizes for guessing who's going to be striking this one at goal.
Yeah, this is her range. She's usually really good at hitting it with power, but I think from here, you know, it's hard to deliver it. It's a bit too close to goal, so I wouldn't be surprised in an event like this if she goes for it herself. And again, that's where that 1-0 up can kind of calm your nerves a bit. You think, hit it, if it goes in, great. If it doesn't, you know, Kenny's given us a little bit of that buffer, so I think she should go for it.
Well, I've already seen a couple of fans in front of us who have got their phones out in anticipation.
That's the belief they have.
They're ready to put this on Twitter. Both Kenny Thompson and Molly Baron Clark are over this one, and it's going to be Thompson who's going to go for goal for the Wolves. The top corner hits the bar. She almost had her second of the game.
And Molly's really good at reading when someone is in the game and is in a bit of a flow, and I think whilst Molly probably trusts herself to do that, she knows Kenny's got a lot of confidence scoring in this game, and Kenny probably said she wanted it, and you know, Molly's a great leader to say, yeah, I trust you as well, you can have it.
Well, she's on it again as she tries to hook it down the right hand side. That's going to go out of play for a goal kick, but Bournemouth coming ever so close to doubling their lead in the final, and again, not a huge amount of pace on the free kick, but it's the precision from Thompson.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think as well, it just gives Cheltenham a bit of a warning that, you know, you can't foul us in them areas because we're dangerous, and you know, that works to our advantage because we either foul us and we are dangerous, or you don't foul us and we're able to serve balls in the box. So yeah, it was great to win that free kick there and put them under a bit of pressure.
Kenny Thompson trying to guide a missile in search of Ellie Stripple, but Cheltenham equal to that one. Bowers will have another go in search of Markham. Again, Wellesley Davis is equal to that one, but Ellie Stripple trying to keep that one in play, doesn't.
But even her pressing there, it's keeping the ball in their half. You know, if she's 5 yards off, if she doesn't go to press that, Cheltenham stick it in, and you know they've got great forwards up front. So it always being, if not first to the ball, being able to put pressure on it, I think is really working to our advantage.
Midway point in the first half of the Women's National League Plate Final. Bournemouth lead by a goal to nil. A couple of moments ago, striking the woodwork from a Kenny Thompson free kick. It is Thompson that's got the only goal of the game so far, but Cheltenham might have a chance to come forward, and they do. It's going to be Una Liu straight at Foley and straight past the post. Out of very little, Cheltenham were able to break forward in numbers. Una Liu was given the space of the left side of the 6-yard box and just drags her shot wide.
Yeah, I know she's on the other team, but I've been really impressed with her. It looks like she's got great technical ability. She's speedy up top too, so our back three have just got to, you know, keep an eye on her and keep playing our game. Kelsey's done really well there too.
Well, Una Liu's got 25 goals in all appearances for Cheltenham since joining. Thompson picks up the ball.
1-2. It's a great
neat
ball.
delivery, and it's under the bar, as dealt with by Bournemouth. Molly Barron-Clark trying to keep the move alive. Hacked back in, it might drop in the back post, it does! And Bournemouth have doubled their lead. McGuinness towards the back post, and of course it's Jenna Markham in the danger zone from about a yard out. Oh, this is...
Again,
what's the first half for Cherries?
I know, but it's deserved. Like, our forwards are going to run onto everything, and you know that's great for Gemma to keep that in play. But for Jenna to be there at the last minute, not taking any chances, making sure we get on the score sheet. So, yeah, I mean, I think we've been on top, and we deserve to be 2-0 up. We've just got to keep this up and not take our foot off the pedal, really.
It's another goal to add to what has already been a sterling season for Jenna Markham. As we're going to have a little delay to the restart. One of the Cheltenham players is currently down.
It's even more impressive because Jenna missed a couple games from injury. So for her to be, I think she's either tied or top goal scorer in our league. So, you know, having missed a couple games and still being at the top just shows how effective she's been when she does play.
To be 2-0 up after just 25 minutes, even in the preparation of the game, the belief that the squad has, that must be beyond your wildest dreams so far.
I mean, we knew we had the ability, we knew we had the quality, but we also didn't underestimate Cheltenham. We knew they had great players, you know, especially their defenders and midfielders, real fighters. So I think that'll be, you know, this is a dream start, really. I hope we can just keep this up and, again, not take our foot off the pedal. You know, we're 2-0 up, but we want to try and score as many goals as we can.
Another foul goes Cherry's way. Another chance for them to put pressure on the Cheltenham defence. I mean, if they were to get a third before half-time, that would be astonishing. It's going to be Amber Trowick to take this one. It's been left by Barron-Clark.
Still got 20 minutes in this first half. Definitely time for a third.
Bournemouth are searching for a third, and going to fall to Thompson. Danger over, but Una Liu doesn't have a great deal of support, but the cavalry arrives, and Abby Jones has won the ball well there.
She has done well there.
James Thompson. Bournemouth in full flow at the moment, although that pass from Thompson not quite finding the run of McGuinness that time.
I think she's probably stuck in a bit of a decision whether to shoot or cross. But again, it's just getting the ball in their box and putting them under pressure. So, you know, I don't blame her for trying. It's a great ball in.
Thompson. Jones for the Cherries, who lead 2-0. Stripple almost plucks it out of the sky, but she's not leaving Cheltenham alone. Another long ball forward that Bournemouth are going to have to deal with. poke it towards the edge of the box. Thompson is not going to get there first, but Doris Greenwood is. Nutmegs Phoebe Williams, who stands strong. Player goes down, and the free kick is eventually going to be given.
Goal scorer, AFC Bournemouth, 22, Jenna Marco.
I thought for a moment that we might not get the tannoy after that long after the goal. Thought the ears would be saved, but not to be.
No, she's staying involved. She knows she's on AFCB TV.
There'll need to be a credit for her,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Exactly. Give her a shout out.
But Bournemouth have got something to deal with here. Now, whilst they do have the 2-goal lead, 2-0, as they say, a bit of a cliche, but a dangerous lead in football. If Cheltenham can get back in the game within the next 5 minutes, then suddenly you think that the tide will turn. But Bournemouth have got to be resolute.
Yeah, and you can see here we're bringing Jenna back, so we're being safe in this scenario, having more people back instead of having that threat up front, which I think is the right decision. You just don't want to take any chances.
There's the captain, Emily Owen, who's over this one. 4 in the wall. The body language makes me think it's going to be a strike at goal with the left foot, and it will, but it's straight at Erin Foley. No problem dealing with that one. And Cherries are going to go forward searching for a third.
It's a great
They
ball.
might just get that as Jenna Markham runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac that time.
Cheltenham did well to get back, to be fair. I think Erin saw the space up front and that's why she played it early, but Cheltenham did well to get their players back to defend.
Lulu has been absolutely shoved to the floor as Attenborough's ball over towards that far side is going to be run out of play by McGuinness. Cherry's throw.
Yeah, Amber's not letting her win that. That's her ball all day.
The timing of that second goal, really important for Cherries, because it came after a few chances that Cheltenham had managed to put together. They were starting to get back into the game, and suddenly that's sort of like a sucker punch, as it were.
Definitely. I think we started the game really well. We had a couple little mishaps here and there. So to know that even after a period of where the control's been in Cheltenham have been in control, we can still come back, and all we need is a chance. One chance and we'll score.
Katie James just putting her side under a little bit of pressure, but she's gone away with that one as Kenny Thompson searching for her second. Jones, her first real foray forward. Stripple, who's been a menace so far, has found Jones with the reverse ball. The flag stays down, she'll strike a goal. The flag eventually does go up.
Yeah, she must have been just offside. It looked close from here, but...
Well, for Bournemouth, after a 2-1 victory over Cambridge in the quarters, 3-2 thriller in the rain against Manchester United Academy in the semis, leading 2-0 in the final is a nice change rather than the just the 1-goal advantage. Although we've still got an hour to play here. Of course, if Cheltenham were to come back into this game, level things, we do have extra time and penalties on the cards. But at the moment, Bournemouth are a complete control here in Oxford. Unalu, who's been on a one-woman mission so far. Oh, it's been dropped into the back of the net by Foley. Out of nowhere, a mistake from Bournemouth's number 13. And Unalu has got the Robinesses right back in this final. They've cut the deficit to 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just shows all she needs is a chance. And, I've been singing her praises, unfortunately, but, she seems like a great player.
Cheltenham Town, 21, Unalu.
I don't want to say that was my fault after I was talking about 1-goal
I know,
leads
well,
just seconds before.
That's football, isn't it?
Exactly. Bournemouth now find themselves in a bit of a game after leading by 2-0, but they just need to calm things down. Phoebe Williams with maybe a bit of a rash ball across is intercepted, and Cheltenham will try and come forward once more. Henna Butcher trying to beat Kelsey Bowers. She does.
I think these next 5-10 minutes are going to be really important. Just Cheltenham are going to come off a high. That's natural. We just need to settle down and play our game.
Attenborough, Greenwood not able to bring that one down, and Lou is not leaving anything, and she almost wins that off Abby Jones, who does well to show strength and get it up to Thompson, who's got Stripple for support. Instead goes to Jones. Excellent pass to Irish McGuinness. Molly Barron-Clark.
That was just unlucky.
Just handles that as she just took her eye off the ball there just for a moment.
Yeah, I think she was giving Abby some information, and yeah, it must have just been a little bit of a miscommunication. Luckily, it's not in an awful part of the pitch. You know, we can defend from here, but yeah, we don't like giving away free kicks at all.
33 on the clock. Cheltenham right back in this game. Emily Owen is going to be taking this one. She wants her players to go a bit further forward as she will hit a long ball in search of Hannah Butcher. That's been dealt with by Bowers. And now Phoebe Williams to McGuinness, and Bournemouth are going to come forward with a bit of pace, but Cheltenham covering well on that far side with Wellesley Davis. And thankfully for Bournemouth, that ball forward fairly aimless. And Erin Foley, I suppose, will want to just have a fairly incident-free next 10 minutes or so, or as a goalkeeper potentially have a shot to save and then just build the confidence back immediately.
And I think that's important, especially being a defender. I understand what it's like when you've made a mistake. You just need 10 minutes, you know, get a feel back into the game. You know, in a 90-minute game, one mistake isn't the be-all and end-all, so just hopefully clearing up anything that needs doing, keeping the ball, and just not going for that £1 million pass, just passing it around and just getting back in control of possession.
Well, the rain has started to fall here on Marsh Lane at the M Group Stadium in Oxford. The weather can't quite make up its mind so far this afternoon. Molly Barron-Clark has called rank and is going to be taking the set pieces once again. Long delivery. Bournemouth not getting a cherry's head on that one. And now Cheltenham will try and break forward with Greenwood. Pokes it to Butcher. Lou has done so well this game just to be that one to aim for. Triple, halting any potential breakaway.
And again, that's so important to stop that counter-attack. So
Libby Bell's throw comes off Barron-Clark, and we'll get a throw back in the same area with just under 10 minutes of normal time to go in this first half, live on AFCB TV. Cherries lead by 2-1. Kenny Thompson and Jenna Markham getting that 2-goal lead before Una Lou got the Robinesses back into the game as she picks it up at about 30 yards from goal. It's getting a bit scrappy at the moment. Both sides Markham, will she keep it in? She doesn't. As I was saying, Charlotte, the game has just lacked a bit of control over the last 5 minutes. Both sides, Cheltenham are excited, they want to get back in the game. Bournemouth are from a position where they've been fairly comfortable to suddenly have got something to deal with.
Yeah, and I think it's, again, it's natural to feel nerves in this type of game, and 1-0 up early, you know, you're excited, but you understand there's a game to go. 2-0 up, you get really excited, and then 2-1, you know, both teams are still very much in it.
Going to fall for Stripple, that's a poor clearance, she scoops, she scores! Fabulous goal from Ellie Stripple. Bournemouth have that 2-goal cushion again, and Cheltenham really played themselves into danger, and Ellie Stripple took the chance and lashed it past Gareth Pugh-Jones, and Bournemouth lead by 3-1.
Goal scorer for AFC Bournemouth, 16, Ellie Stripple.
She's the type of player you just rely on for them goals. You know, she does great things in the build-up, but she's someone that can just make something out of nothing. And I think, as you were saying, the game didn't have much control. It was back and forward, but you know, it's clearly shown that all she needs is a chance, and that was a great finish. She scores all types of goals. She's so talented.
13 league goals this season. Another one to add to that one. And just as I was talking about scorelines, yet again another team scores. I need to stop doing it, really. But that's exactly the response that Bournemouth needed.
That was a good jinx this time, so
yes.
We'll take it.
Well, Kenny Thompson, confidence flowing, finds Markham. But that just gave a little bit too much for Abby Haitley, who gets it out of play, and suddenly Bournemouth are back to how they were, confidence flowing once again.
And you can see it, even after that goal, I think we just got a bit of an uplift, same as Cheltenham did after they scored. So if we can just go into the half-time, you know, out in front, I think we'll be fine.
Butcher. Another ball forward that Lou is not going to give up easily, and that's the second ball, and it's stuck in the tree.
And again, that's the right decision from Amber. No messing around there against a player of that caliber, and you know, Amber's settling the game down and making sure we're all back to defend.
Then we're going to need a cherry picker for that one.
It's still up there. It's hanging on.
I'm going to see someone trying to shake the branches later as Bournemouth able to get that danger away. Phoebe Williams and Katie James finds Stripple, the goal scorer from just a few moments ago, but it's a good challenge, and Cheltenham will try and get themselves back in this game as we approach half-time. Stripple, that touches loose. Greenwood. Kenny Thompson not leaving her alone, and she finds Stripple. Baron Clark goes for the diagonal switch for McGuinness, but doesn't find her that time. Attenborough bends it nicely down the right-hand side, and Abby Jones will just usher that one out of play. Erin Foley with,
well there.
Yeah, it was a loose, not the best goal kick there, and Amber Trewick quite heavy on Lou, who's just taking a few moments to pick herself up off the ground. But maybe those nerves in Erin Foley, uncharacteristic of her, but they just haven't quite left at the moment after that goal kick.
Yeah, I think she understands that the players that she's going to be up against are going to have more quality than teams that we have in our league. We face some good teams, but a tier 3 team she knows will have talented strikers, so she's got to be switched on, and she never wants to let the team down, so she'll be disappointed in herself, but she's done so well in other aspects that she shouldn't dwell on it too much.
Thankfully Unaloo is back up and running. Bournemouth win themselves a free kick with 5 of normal time to go. Cheltenham's number 21 getting the goal for the Robinesses from ridiculous angle, unfortunately for Cherry's Erin Foley, who fumbled it into the goal. But her blushes have been spared as Bournemouth have regained that 2-goal cushion, but Cheltenham will be trying to just have a few questions to ask of the Cherries' defence. Thompson. Phoebe Williams is brought down legally, says the referee. Doris Greenwood plays it straight back to Williams. Thompson. Trewick. McGuinness. Nice turn. Thompson.
She's feeling confident though, which is good to see.
The confidence was certainly flowing from Thompson there, having a go from about 30 yards, but there was a wall of red and white in front of her. But Bournemouth are keeping the pressure on with Williams, and Bowers does get the ball into the box, and Markham's there at the back post is Stripple, and it's saved by the feet of Hugh Jones. I thought for a moment it may have not been kept in by Ellie Stripple, but it is going to be a corner Bournemouth's way.
Again, it's just chasing everything up, and You know, that tiny little movement from Ellie to keep the ball in means we get a corner, and we are dangerous from set pieces. So, you know, the work doesn't go unnoticed even if you don't score a goal, just creating more chances.
Well, maybe I can jinx it for a third time, and this will be a fourth goal for Bournemouth, but it's going to be Baron Clark to take this. The fans certainly want that fourth. Then comes the delivery, and it's going to drop at the back post, goes away from a cherry shirt, but going to be picked up by Bowers on the far side. Can't quite get the cross in that time as Cheltenham try and get it away. McGuinness. Katie James. Stripple. Tries with the outside of the foot to get it to Baron Clark. She goes down and the ball is going to be nicked into Amatroic. It's going to go high and cleared off the line. Oh, and Kenny Thompson's going to pick up the loose ball and fires it wide. Cheltenham really have no answers for Bournemouth at the moment.
And again, with all that passage of play, you've got Amber nearly scoring, you've got Kenny nearly scoring, you know, Kelsey keeping it in. So I think it shows that our threat is, you know, all over our team, that you can't just minimise one.
Well, Amatroic has got 6 goals this season, so certainly knows how to find the back of the net for a centre-back.
Yeah, definitely a threat on set pieces.
Just under a couple of minutes to go of normal time. Bournemouth still keeping the pressure on. Edge of the box is Markham. Is she going to have a go for goal? No, she leaves it. McGuinness into the box, and it's not going to fall for the Cherries that time as Cheltenham get it away. Baron Clark. That's a nice little ball into the feet of the Cherries. They're trying to work another opportunity. Kenny Thompson is going to turn and shoot and slip and it wide.
I would love to see Phoebe shoot that. She has such good feet, and I feel like she just didn't quite trust herself in that situation. She's a midfielder, so she always wants to give it to other people, but I've seen her shoot and train. She's got a great strike, so I'd love for her to have a go today too.
Well, as well as having the heavens open before kick-off and during the midpoint of the game, this is a synthetic pitch, so a couple of players have lost footing at some point. Markham. Bowers. It's another ball into the box that is blocked. Corner. Some teams, as they get closer to half-time with a 2-goal advantage, you think protect that, but Bournemouth, they just want to add. They want to add to that, get as many goals as possible.
Yeah.
At the moment, they are, aside from a 5-minute period where Cheltenham got themselves back into the game, Bournemouth have looked like the Tier 3 side.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we trust our defenders to, you know, defend, and, you know, our forwards gives them the freedom to go forward and, yeah, do their job. Everyone's got a role to play, and if they stick to it, we should be successful.
Into 2 minutes added on. Thompson with the delivery, and it's headed just wide of the far post. That could so easily have been a fourth.
Gemma, isn't it? Gemma.
She did well to get her head on that with a
I
couple
know,
of defenders
yeah.
around her as well.
And Cheltenham have some tall girls. They look like they're decent in the air, so to be able to get first contact, again, it's just showing them that we're threatening from set pieces and they can't give it to us.
Emily Owen pulls rank and takes the goal kick away from Pugh Jones. It was 2 added minutes that we're into now. About 60 seconds left of that. Siding challenge. And Molly Baron-Clark will try and find McGuinness on that far side. It's going to fall for Williams. Is she going to have a crack at goal? She does, and that doesn't go behind the stand.
I think it was just bouncing a little bit, wasn't it?
Until 2 minutes of additional time.
I'm going to need a hearing test after this game, that's for sure.
Get a loud environment notification on my watch.
Into the final minute of the first half in the FA Women's National League Plate Final, where Bournemouth lead by 3-1. It's been a sterling half for the Cherries.
Crazy, we've still got 45 minutes after that too.
What do you think Steve will be saying to the girls at half-time? Keep the pressure on, try and get a 4th or a 5th, or they're certainly going to expect Cheltenham to try and they're going to come out for the first 10 minutes of the second half. They know they've got a final to win as well.
I think he'll tell them to keep the pressure on. I think that's when we play our best. You know, we pride ourselves on being a really fit team, an aggressive team, and I think if we were to sit off, we would invite pressure.
Well, Markham's going to have the final say of this first half. Back to Thompson, drills it, and didn't get the pace behind that one. Easy gather for Pugh Jones. You think that will be it for the first half. And Bournemouth again coming very close to adding a fourth to their first half tally.
By us keeping the pressure on them, it pushes Cheltenham back, and when you've got a team with such pace up front and, you know, talented midfielders, you want them to be as deep as possible.
Alice Parker blows for half-time here at the M Group Stadium. Huge travelling support for the Cherries that you can hear around us. They are delighted with what they've seen this half. Steve Cuss will be absolutely thrilled, and of course the players as they walk off the pitch. Cheltenham, they're having some conversations on the pitch in huddle. They want to know what went wrong in that first half, but I think, Charlotte, it's not what went wrong, it's at Bournemouth. Everything's gone right for them bar that 5-minute period.
I think Cheltenham have shown qualities, and you can tell they're a decent team. You can tell they're used to playing, you know, other good teams, but I think for us, we've been on the front foot, we've been aggressive, we've shown quality in the final third, and everything that our coach and staff have asked for, we've performed. So hopefully we can keep it up in the second half too.
Well, the Cherries got the lead after 11 minutes when Kenny Thompson found the bottom left-hand corner, the perfect start. And then McGuinness with that looping ball to the back post where Jenna Markham was left unmarked to prod home from about a yard out. That doubled Cherries' lead. But Cheltenham did get themselves back in the game quite fortuitously as Una Liu found the back of the net after Erin Foley failed to catch what looked like a cross-come shot. Cheltenham, for 5 minutes, thought that they were going to get themselves back in the game, and then Ellie Stripple, just a couple of minutes after, lashed the ball home from about 16 yards into the top corner. The perfect response from the Cherries, who lead at half-time by 3-1. We'll have the second half live on AFCB TV with myself, Tom Murray, and Charlotte Harris in the next 10 minutes.
Champion!
Welcome back to the M Group Stadium up in Oxford, with Bournemouth women leading by 3-1 in the FA Women's National League Plate final against Cheltenham Town. I'm joined this afternoon by Charlotte Harris, fullback for the Cherries, joined in February. There was some eerie silence there just while the music was turning up, but I tell you what a team talk that will be for Steve Cuss to give at half-time, with his side looking comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a balance, and I'm sure he's had a balance of encouraging them but also praising them for what they've done. I think honestly if they keep up what they're doing then we'll be successful. So of course he wants to make sure they don't take their foot off the pedal and they keep on pushing, but also credit where credit's due. I think we played fantastic in the first half.
Well, in that huddle in the middle, Ellie Stripple and Kenny Thompson and Jenna Markham, the 3 goal scorers for the Cherries this afternoon, as Cheltenham just make their way back onto the pitch. Una Liu getting their strike. That came from a cross that was dropped from Erin Foley. As there's an air of anticipation in this second half as both sides get into a huddle on the pitch, with Alice Parker, the official, in the middle this afternoon.
I'd be really interested to see what the Cheltenham manager says, because I think they've played well in this first half and they've had some chances, but I do think that Bournemouth have just been the stronger team, so it'll be interesting to see if they come out more on the front foot or if they just trust in their game plan and try and get one back when they can.
Well, Bournemouth hadn't needed to deal with any periods of extra time in the run-up to the final, whereas Cheltenham took Stockport County to an extra 30 minutes and overcome them 2-1. The Cherries, who will be shooting from left to right in this half, will be wanting to make sure that they deal with any early pressure from the Robinesses and get this final secure. They lead by 3-1, and towards the end of the first half it really did look like a fourth could be on the cards, but here we go then. The Cherries, Steve Cuss's side, 45 minutes away from extra silverware, but silverware on a national level. As an early free kick is given the way of Cheltenham. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see just how Cheltenham deal with the first sort of 10 minutes of this half and whether they really go full throttle, throw everything they have.
Yeah. But
of course that will, if they do that, then it leaves spaces at the back for Bournemouth to exploit, which they've already done.
100%. It's that balance of course they want to try and get forward, but you know, if the look at the players we have, Jenna thrives with space in behind and Ellie loves when she can get the ball to her feet, so you know, they're going to want to send numbers forward, but they've also got to be safe, because if we score another goal, that's just an even bigger hill to climb.
Molly Barron-Clark just taking a knock as she went for that aerial battle with Meg Attenborough. I think she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And just like the weather couldn't make up its mind, now the sun has come out.
Now it's boiling.
Kenny Thompson, who got things going in the first half with that goal in 11 minutes. Henna Butcher, not able to find a teammate on that far side. Abby Jones will take the throw, who, after being bundled to the floor in the first couple of minutes, has taken no prisoners in any battle since then.
Definitely asserted her presence since.
Kenny Thompson's just let the ball roll, and now there's a bit of pressure for Bournemouth to deal with. Cries of handball, long-range effort is going to go off the knee of Trewick, who takes...
Go on, Bournemouth!
It did look like a handball. They were all kind of a bit intertwined, so I couldn't tell, but I'm pretty sure her arm was in the air.
Wellesley Davis's throw is dealt with well by McGuinness, but it's going to be another throw a few yards further towards the corner flag. Cheltenham, as expected, just turning the screw a little, but Bournemouth currently equal to what's been thrown at them. Una Liu trying to wriggle out of a bit of a cul-de-sac, can't do it on that occasion. Emily Owen trying to find Butcher, and now Bournemouth might have a chance to break forward, but Ellie Stripple's not able to get on that bounce. Hannah's bundled to the floor. Wins a foul about 35 yards from goal.
Yeah, I mean, she was looking for that. It's smart from the attacker, but it's unfortunate. She knew that Molly was coming into her and just let her body flop. It is a dangerous position, so we've got to be really switched on here.
Yeah, there was the left arm from Molly Barron-Clark, which did just nudge in the back of Hannah Butcher. And Bournemouth, with just 3 minutes gone in this second half, have got a set piece to deal with. It's floated towards the back post. Pressure still on for Cheltenham. And they get another ball into the box in that
Abby's
time.
done really well there.
Get that clear.
Well done, Abs.
That's exactly what you need from Abby Jones there after early pressure, seeing it out of play, and you can get your shape back.
Yeah. And I think I always know this as a fullback in the modern game. You want to get forward, you want to be putting balls in the box, but the main job of a defender is to keep a clean sheet or keep them from scoring goals. So I think it's important in these first 10 minutes for our back three to just be really solid, not let anything go. And then when we settle into the game, that's when both Kelsey and Abby can help us going forward.
Well, how the game has gone so far will bode well for the Cherries next season. They'll be locking horns with Cheltenham next campaign in Tier 3 after the Robinesses confirmed their Tier 3 status with a 2-0 win over Lewis last weekend. And now they break forward through Butcher, who's got a bit of space, and Bournemouth have got something to deal with. Butcher into the middle. Unalu, great save from Erin Foley, and that's exactly what she's needed.
Yeah. And she comes in clutch. I think she'll, again, be really disappointed with her first half little mishap, but she makes up for it in so many other occasions. That's why I knew she just couldn't dwell on it. And that's a great save because that shot had a lot of power behind it.
Unalu searching for her second goal of the game, but Erin Foley equal to it that time with a fantastic stop. But they've got a corner that's thrown into the mixer. Molly Barron-Clark will head that clear, and then she's gone down. There is Barron-Clark that's been pushed to the floor for the second time in around 5 minutes, and not looking too great at the moment.
Yeah. I think Cheltenham's number 15, that's her captain, isn't it? I think she's really competitive in the air, so Molly definitely backs herself to mark her, but with that often comes a bit of a tussle. But Molly's, again, honestly, we could say it for our whole team, is another player who will put our body on the line for the team, and especially in them situations she knew she had to go up for it. So I'm hoping she's okay. She's an important player, especially in a game like this.
The 33-year-old will be wanting to make sure that she can continue and play out the rest of this final. She's covered almost every blade of grass so far.
Yeah.
Going forward when defending, if there's a break for Cheltenham, you can expect Bournemouth's number 10 to be sprinting back to make up any ground.
She is one of the most competitive people I know. She'll fight for everything in training. She always wants to win. And I think you have to have that mentality, especially going up to Tier 3. She's going to be up against some really good midfielders, and I think Molly trusts herself as a player and her work ethic that she can compete against anyone in midfield.
One thing about synthetic pitches is they don't quite have the bounce in them that grass pitches do, so I imagine she's probably winded herself ever so slightly with the fall down.
Yeah.
At least it's a little bit better with the rubber crumb that they have instead of the sand, where you go for a slide tackle and you've taken half your skin off.
That is brutal. But yeah, there's pros and cons, isn't there? With the weather we had earlier, if it would have been on a normal pitch, it would have been slipping and sliding, and probably would have been a bit bumpy. So in a way, it's good, but when you land from 10 feet in the air, not very good.
One thing I've always found annoying with these pitches is you get back and you take off your boots and the amount of bits of rubber that come out.
I'm not trying to put my dad on blast here, but his car is just absolutely full of it. He coaches grassroots, and between him, me and my brother, it's just like AstroTurf Central. So my mum always used to be like, take your boots off before you come in, but it's inevitable, isn't it? Ends up all over the house.
You end up having enough to probably have your own artificial pitch
exactly,
in the garden.
yeah. Build a little mini one in the back.
You talk about your brother Archie in the development squad, and you were saying at half-time just how supportive you are of each other. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I've got my whole family's really supportive. My dad played professional, so me and my brother have always looked up to him, but being so close in age, just 2.5 years, we've always been able to push each other, and I play right back, he plays left back, so similar skills we need to work on training, but yeah, he's super supportive. I'm glad Molly's up to have a look, but yeah, he's super supportive of the team as well, obviously being at Bournemouth. And I was saying at half-time after he played for Wales, first thing he did was checked his phone and made sure we won at the Vitality. So it's great to have that partnership with him, and you know, I'm rooting for him just as much as he's rooting for not only me but the team as a whole.
Well, everything about Bournemouth is just going right at the moment.
Exactly.
The men's team doing so well in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The women's team currently on course to win silverware at a national level as well.
Yeah.
Got the promotion champions. Yeah, there's not much wrong with the club
Yeah.
at the moment.
No,
it's all going incredibly well, but Bournemouth have just got themselves something to deal with. Is it going to be a drop ball that goes Cheltenham's way after Molly Barron-Clark has managed to get back to her feet, and Cherries take no chances, whack that forward over halfway.
And we can reset here. It's always difficult to prepare for a drop ball. You have no idea where it's going to go, if they're going to hit it, if they're going to pass it, but throw-in's a bit more predictable so we can get our shape back.
Una Lou has been sort of the equivalent Molly Barron-Clark for Cheltenham, covering every blade of grass as Bournemouth are able to break down the right-hand side. Bowers, they're getting people forward towards the back post as Ellie Strippall over the bar. Oh, what a glorious chance and what a wonderful breakaway.
Kelsey's done really well there. She's really had to sprint forward, and one thing about her, she can deliver a great ball in, so I know Ellie will be a bit disappointed, but it was a hard finish. She did well to get her foot on it, and again, it's just putting them under pressure. Every shot we have, their goalkeeper's going to, fret a little bit, and their defenders are going to be a bit worried, so it makes our confidence go up and theirs go down.
When you've got the likes of McGuinness, Markham, Strippall running at pace at your
100%.
goal, you have no idea who exactly to keep an eye on.
No, exactly, and that's one thing that's great. I mean, if you look, three goals, 3 different goal scorers, and you haven't even included Gemma McGuinness in that. So I think that we've got threats from lots of different areas.
Butcher has managed to find a bit of space, gets a shooting opportunity, saved by Foley. That's 2 good saves that she's made in the first few minutes of the second half. The confidence is back with Bournemouth's number 13.
And she'll be really locked in. Of course, at the start of the game, she's going to be focused, but I think she's going to want to make sure that she proves herself and she shows what a great keeper she is, because she is really talented, and shots like that, saves like that, are far more common than, a little mishap in the first half.
Well, Hannah Butcher has got 2 goals in her last 3 games, so she certainly knows how to find the back of the net. Another set piece for them to deal with.
Molly's still really well there to not let it go out for another corner.
You'd completely forget that she was bundled to the floor just a few minutes ago and had a few minutes to sort of gather her whereabouts.
Yeah, it would take a lot for Molly to go off. I think she could have a leg hanging off and she'd still want to stay on and run round. So I'm glad that she's back up and she's feeling fit, though.
Well, that seems to be the case for every player in
the
squad at the moment.
I keep saying
they don't want to come off whatever happens.
Especially when they're playing so well. I think that the chemistry's been really good. We're linking up really well.
Bournemouth win it high up the pitch. Markham. Thompson. You got things going after 11 minutes. Barron-Clark's first time ball. It's going to be a bit too much on that.
I hope Phoebe's okay. It looks like they've had a bit of a collision in the middle there. Winded, I think.
There's been quite a few physical coming togethers there. She was on the ground as the ball was played over to Strippall, just on her haunches.
Yeah. And that's probably Cheltenham's tactic, slow the game down. You know, they're used to being in a really competitive and aggressive environment. That's probably their way of trying to take control back of the game. But unluckily for them, we are an aggressive team and we can be just as physical.
Cheltenham just playing themselves into a bit of trouble, and Stripple wins the throw, takes it quickly. Not sure entirely where that ball's going to drop. I think it's gone out for a throw, not a corner.
I'm pleased to announce that today's attendance is 527. Thank you for your support today.
Considering it's 40 miles for Cheltenham, 100 miles one way for Bournemouth fans, that's a really good turnout of 527. So we just tick over the 58-minute mark live on AFCB TV in the FA Women's National League Plate Final. The Cherries 3-1 to the good. And that's a really poor goal kick, and Stripple's going to find Markham, hits it first time, it's blocked. Williams, who's okay now after being winded a couple of minutes earlier, keeping the pressure on Bournemouth. Baron Clark, Thompson, it's going to be a free kick.
I think whoever takes this free kick is going to go for goal too. It's definitely within shooting range, so definitely a really good opportunity for us to get another one on the board.
Well, Kenny Thompson struck the crossbar with Bournemouth's only other free kick in that sort of range. That was in the first half as they looked to double their lead. She is standing around the spot, that's for sure. And Molly Baron Clark is just... Is she walking away? Is she going to leave this one? She might do.
Yeah, I think it'll depend on how they set their wall up. Obviously, Kenny's left-footed, so depending on where the wall is, they might want a left-footed player to whip it.
You've got Katie
in
James
front
as an
post.
option as well.
Yeah, she'll probably want to go back post. Kenny will probably want to go front post. So I guess it just depends what they think.
Cheltenham have gone for the draft excluder behind that wall. Bournemouth searching for a fourth, and that would really just wrap up this final, you'd think. Phones out yet again to hopefully record a goal that goes Cherry's way. Thompson and James over it. Katie James, and it's right into the wall, comes back out to her, puts it straight back into the box, and Karis Pugh-Jones is able just to gather that one, and she wants Cheltenham to go quickly. Immediately hits up to Una Liu, who is brought to the ground. Advantage played. Butcher, Greenwood on the right-hand side, tries to get past Jones, who yet again formidable at the back. But that's a ball into a dangerous area, and Una Liu is brought down, and now Cheltenham do have a free kick, and you think after being on the end of a couple of nasty challenges in the last 30 seconds, that free kick probably not a difficult one for Alice Parker to give.
And KJ had to go in there. It looks like she's going to get a yellow card for it, but she understands the danger if she doesn't go and she doesn't make that contact, that, you know, they could be in on goal. So she's a really smart player. She knows when to put a big challenge in, and she knows when to, you know, just defend them 1v1. So it's a shame, but it was definitely needed.
Well, we're into half an hour of normal time to go. Bournemouth lead by 3-1, and as you said, any chance for Cheltenham to break through, they really need to snuff it out as quickly as possible, because if it goes back to just the one-goal deficit, for all the control that Bournemouth have had in the game, that can change the game back to sort of a chaotic nature, as it did for that 5 minutes in the first half.
It's all about momentum, and we want to keep the momentum with us, so...
No signs of any subs at the moment. Alice Parker just making sure that the wall is an adequate distance away. They've gone short down the right-hand side, and Bournemouth have got themselves a goal kick, and that's just really, really good concentration and really great defending.
Yeah, she's so composed there. She's much better than me. I would have been a true defender and cleared it, but Ellie trusts in her technical ability, and she knows that in tight situations she can get out of it. So she's done really well there to win us a goal kick.
With the fans in that stand over there having to duck if it was
yeah,
straight in.
that would have been on the motorway if that was me. No messing around.
We are going to have the first substitution of the game, as Doris Greenwood is going to be making way. And it's going to be number 6,
Substitution for Cheltenham Town.
Maisie
number
Collis,
17,
who's going to be coming on.
Off replaced by number 6, Maisie Collis.
I was going to say, if I was going to miss who was going to come on the pitch, at least the tannoy would be there to deafen us once again. Giving the fans a run for their money in terms of noise this afternoon, that's for sure, whenever it comes on. Troic and Thompson. Bournemouth have been resolute so far in this second half as Cheltenham have just start to turn the screw and apply a bit of pressure trying to get themselves back into this game, but at the moment the Cherries still fairly comfortable. Ellie Stripple came so close to extending the lead to 4, just hitting it over the bar from the back post after a delicious cross from Kelsey Bowers. But Cheltenham coming forward yet again, red and white stripes surging, but Bournemouth just managing to suffocate any potential breakaway. But now they have a breakaway themselves with McGuinness. Quick feet into Williams, just behind her, calls for getting it over to Thompson, and that ball is just a little bit too short. But Abby Jones reading the game really well, nicking it off the toes of Una Lu and getting the ball into the mixer. Haitley, her header is powerful, but Kenny Thompson with great centre of gravity into the box, and it was almost at the feet of McGuinness at the back post.
I think that's what's great when Ellie's able to drop into midfield. Gemma has the whole of the back post to herself, and she's so good at them little finishes and got great touch. So definitely dangerous from Kenny's cross on the left.
Well, it's so difficult to deal with when you've got such a fluid front 3, front 4. They're all changing position at all times. Especially Ellie Stripple could be on the left, suddenly appears on the right.
Yeah, she's so versatile.
And it is Stripple on the ball. Bowers with the cross, and Thompson's lurking at the back post, and it's hit the post itself. Another fantastic cross from Kelsey Bowers.
Well done, Amber.
Applause.
I think she's done really well today.
Katie James not able to find Stripple that time. It comes straight back to Una Lu, and that's a tired touch from Lu as Molly Barron-Clark immediately tries to find the run of Thompson, who's not making that run.
I think when you play the formation we do, when it's 1v1 all over the field, Amber knew the role that she'd have today playing against Una, and I think that she's done so well, kept composed, you know, gone tight when she needs to, give her space when she needs to, so hopefully she can keep this up for the last 25 minutes or so too.
Lu, yet again. Haitley, Attenborough with the reverse ball trying to find Enna Butcher. Cheltenham just having a spell of possession, but Bournemouth quick to press on every occasion as Attenborough plays it out to Pemberton on the right-hand side. Again, Amber Troic equal to that one. Collis, who only a few moments ago came on for Doris Greenwood, and Stripple. Kelsey Bowers. Well, Bournemouth have won themselves a fairly cheap free kick right on the edge of the box as McGuinness was just nudged in the back, enough for Alice Parker to blow her whistle. And again, another dangerous opportunity for the Cherries to really wrap this game up.
I think Cheltenham will be disappointed with that call, but it is a push in the back, and you know, Gemma may have had control of the ball, so.
Just want to let the Cherries fans do the talking for a little bit. Thompson, who's already struck the bar from an earlier free kick, He's going to have another go. It's deflected and will bounce wide, and Hugh Jones will not want to see that one again as it goes out of play for a corner. It seems that goal is cursed for at least one mistake per half.
It's just unlucky there. I think she's come out, but
Cherries
probably
go
could have
short.
left it.
Thompson, it's quite high. Oh, it's going to fall for Katie James, who has a swipe at goal, and Hugh Jones is able to gather that first time on this occasion.
She's done well there. It's always tough being on a yellow going in for them 50-50s, but KJ timed it really well, so.
All the concentration, of course, has been on the plate, but for the Cherries on Wednesday, they've got another chance to add some silverware to their season with the Hampshire Cup final against Southampton under 21s at AFC Tottenham Snow Stadium, trying to make it a hat-trick of wins against the same opposition in the competition before next weekend, or the weekend after, ending the league season against Portishead. I mean, you've been part of the squad since February, but even since then, it's been an absolutely magnificent season, and everyone's played their part.
Oh, it's been amazing. Yeah, I think that, I mean, you see today in the last couple of weeks, especially since we've won the league, we've really rotated our starting 11. We've made sure that players who have played a lot of minutes have had some rest, in order to play in big games like this. And I think, although there's been some goals we've let in that we haven't been too happy with, the performance hasn't dropped, and I think that's just credit to how rounded the squad is, how many players we have that are talented, that can come on and do a job. And I think that Steve and the staff really try and make sure that we all get an opportunity to be involved in what's going to be such a memorable season.
20 minutes to go in the National League Plate final. Cherries lead by 3-1. All of that happening in the first half as Cheltenham play the ball over the top, and there's the pace of Una Lu trying to get through, and it's gathered by Erin Foley in the nick of time.
Yeah, Erin did really well there to come out. When you've got someone sprinting in full speed at you, it's very brave, so I'm glad that she made that decision and she got it right.
You know full well as well that they are probably, if they have the opportunity, they are going to throw a foot at it.
Oh, 100%. If you're a forward, you are not bothered about how the other goalkeeper, if you hit her or not, so.
Well, Butcher has managed to get in behind and plays it across the face of goal, and Katie James with a great interception at the front post.
Yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due. Cheltenham's done well there. They've got some really athletic girls, so again, just another reminder that we can't take our eye off the ball. And whilst there's only 20 minutes left, we scored 2 in 20 minutes, so got to just keep defending strong. And if we could get another goal to solidify the win, I think that would be great.
Oh, in this half, Erin Foley's managed to pull off a couple of really decent saves. She's going to be called into action here. It's going to go towards goal, and for a moment, from where we're sat, that looked like it was going to end up in the back of the net, but
yeah,
danger over.
Lost my breath there a little bit. I had no idea where that was going, but it looked like Phoebe had it covered anyway, and Erin was pretty confident, so defended enough to make sure that they didn't score.
Go, Bournemouth!
Well, as it stands, it's going to be a very happy trip back down the A34 for the Cherries. 200-mile round trip. Stripple. Oh, Markham. I judge to have fouled the defender there as she tried to turn and run in behind.
Yeah, that's unlucky there, just a collision. I think it could have gone either way, to be honest.
Lou. That's come off the head of Jones, but it's going to be picked up by Butcher, who wants a bit of a pace yet again, and her ball into the box is well intercepted, but it's going to come straight back from Cheltenham. Collis.
Yeah, I think our midfielders have done a really good job of just covering anything that comes in front of our back line. And, you know, considering how possession orientated we are, I think, you know, Molly and KJ and Phoebe all do their job defensively.
Well, the Cheltenham staff were up in arms. They thought potentially there was a cry for a penalty. It's quite difficult to see. Molly Barron-Clark was already on the ground, and it was just a kick out at it. Difficult to see from the replay what contact, if any, was made, but either way, Alice Parker said no, waved away the protest, and will be a corner kick. They came close last time. That's going to go up into the air, and it's dangerous and wide. And
the angle we are sat at is a little bit scary. I'm not very good at reading where the ball's going, but
every time it goes towards the back post, you just think, well, on earth is that
I know. I just hold my breath.
Cheltenham just having a sustained period of pressure at the moment. Bournemouth have dealt with it really well so far, but it's exactly what you'd expect with the final 15 approaching. They need to get a goal to get themselves really back in this game. He's going to come to the back post. Owens and finds the back of the net. It's a really, really good header from the captain, who finds the top right-hand corner. And with just over 15 minutes to play, it's 3-2, and this game is not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing that Abby could have done about that.
Cheltenham Town, number 50, Emily A.
She's been on threat on set pieces all game, and, you know, credit where credit's due. It's a great header. I just hope that Bournemouth can keep our composure now and know that we're still in the lead.
AFC Bournemouth, number 14, Katie James, replaced by number 21, Ali Pearl.
And Ali is a more defensive centre mid, which I thought could be good for us. She'll keep the ball.
Cheltenham Town, number 8, Meg Attenborough, replaced by number 2, Anne Trinchy.
Ali Hall coming on for Katie James, Meg Attenborough coming off for Anne Trinchy. Well, we have ourselves a cup final on our hands with the final 15 to play. Bournemouth were comfortable, they were dealing with it. Cheltenham quite eager to run forward from the restart, too eager.
And it'll be interesting because both teams have been in positions where it's been a really close game. Obviously, our last game was 3-2 against United, and Cheltenham have had some really close calls. So both of them have been dealing with this pressure. Obviously, added nerves in a final. So it'll be really interesting to see the approach of both teams with just 15 minutes to go.
Let's go, Cheltenham!
Bit of case of sun in the eyes potentially there as Libby Bell and Finn Llewellyn both went for the same ball, almost giving away a corner. Emily Owens' 30th goal for Cheltenham in 95 appearances has got her side right back in this game. Bournemouth, with a chance from strip or otherwise, haven't really had to test Karis Pugh-Jones as much as they would have liked.
Yeah, this half has definitely been played more in the middle of the pitch. I felt like the first half it was very up and back, but I think both teams settled into the game, kept possession a bit more, but I wouldn't be surprised now if it does start to get a bit chaotic again.
Hannah Butcher getting on the end of Emily Owens' long ball, but it's going to be left to roll out of play. I know you're sat with me here, but as a player, when you are in control of the game and a kind of thing like that happens, how difficult is it to sort of calm yourself down for the next 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's definitely a blow, and you know, goals from set pieces always sting a lot more because it's not in the run of play, and you know, both of Cheltenham's goal I think arguably came out of the run of play. So Bournemouth for the most part have done things right, and two unlucky moments for us. So on one hand, you know, Bournemouth will know that they've been in control for most of the games. They just need to stay playing the way they are. But it definitely is a blow to know that Cheltenham can produce goals when needed.
We've lost our 4th ball of the game, though this time not up a tree. That one is still up there from the first half. Cheltenham return to sender with that clearance. But that's exactly what Bournemouth will want. That is just roll out of play for a goal kick. They'll have no problems with Cheltenham playing aimless balls like that forward.
Yeah. It'll be interesting now because one of our biggest manifestos of playing is playing quick and getting the ball in. So it's just going to be finding that balance. Of course, we want to play quick and we don't want to lose that tempo, but you've got to play to the game and realise, you know, we haven't got long left and we're 1 goal up. So you don't want to sit back and be completely defensive, but you've also got to be tactical.
Thompson tries to poke it forward to Markham. Ollie Barron-Clark tries to do the same. Phoebe Williams has managed to win that ball high in the Cheltenham pitch. Back to Thompson, 20 yards from goal. Almost feeds it through to Stripple. Oh, that's definitely a coming together. And that's going to be a free kick that's gone Cheltenham's way, which they have taken quickly. Straight onto the chest of Bowers. And here come Bournemouth with McGuinness. Players ahead of her, but she's going to go for goal, and it's going to bounce just away from Stripple, who was lurking, and Karis Pugh-Jones didn't really have anyone around her to be able to gather that.
Kelsey did really well there. Seen that the free kick was going to be taken quickly, got back in position and stayed composed and be able to keep the ball after that in a game that is so chaotic.
Potential clash of heads on that far side.
Yeah, I think that's Molly again.
She has been in the wars this half, has to be said. I mean, you never want to see a player injured, but if this does take a couple of minutes, that might actually be what Bournemouth want, just to take the sting out of the game. Cheltenham very much have got their tails up, but they're not able to build any momentum, and this sort of just halts things for the time being.
Yeah, it's difficult because I still think that Bournemouth have had lots of moments of momentum, and you know, even just then we were close to scoring another goal. So I think, you know, on one hand you want to slow things down and get the game back on how we like to play on the floor and, you know, pretty football, but on the other hand we still have momentum. So again, it's just going to be finding that balance when it's right to play quick and go forward. Obviously we're not going to deny that opportunity, but in moments you've got to play the game.
Look from the replay there, potentially, that it just came off the wrong part of Molly's head there. It's a nasty one. Being joined by a spider on the notes, that's always a little friend. But she's back up and running, and it is getting a bit tenacious in the middle. Emily Owen equal to that, but straight away Ali Hall with a booming header forward. Stripple going to be caught out by the flight of the ball there, but she's managed to regain him. That's some good quick feet. Finds Bowers, and going to be another substitution here for the Cherries. Ellie Stripple is being brought off.
Substitution for AFC Bournemouth, 16 Ellie Stripple replaced by number 6 Maisie Smith.
Ellie Stripple's race is run. She got the 3rd goal in the first half. Maisie Smith is going to come on in her place.
And this is another defensive change. I think Steve and the staff can probably see that Cheltenham have got some momentum, so they'll probably, looks like they're going to a back 4. Yeah, back 4, so I'm not surprised. We want to secure the win, and you get it done however you can.
Bournemouth trying to shut up shop, but Butcher is not able to get it through to Leslie Davis. Collis. Now, as we were speaking earlier, exactly what Bournemouth will be more than happy with. Those balls forward to no one and just wind the clock down ever so slightly. We're into the final 8 minutes of normal time. I imagine, though, there'll be a hefty amount of stoppage time with It's maybe just from Molly Barron-Clark, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, there'll be a couple minutes added, but hopefully not too many.
Of course, if Cheltenham do get themselves level, will be 30 minutes of extra time, followed by penalties. If we're equal after that, Kelsey Bowers in a bit of a foot race with Foley as well, who gathers well at the feet of the on-rushing forward. But Bowers, her ball is collected, and Ali Hall down the line in search of McGuinness. It's going to go out of play for a Cheltenham throw. Closing proceedings here on AFCB TV. Hopefully the final part of the game, and that means that Bournemouth will be victors in the National League Players. Markham gets in behind, crosses it across the face box. Thompson slips and it's cleared from the hands of Hugh Jones.
That was great work by Jenna to keep it in, and a great ball in too.
Thompson, for all the world, you just thought that she was going to get her second of the game, Bournemouth's fourth, but just losing her footing at the vital moment as she stretched for that. And we've got another stoppage, another player's down. Molly Barron-Clark, having been down for a considerable amount of time this half, not giving the ball up that easily on that occasion, trying to stop any quick free kick being taken.
I think especially she's seen what Cheltenham did, that they can be dangerous, they want to play quick, so I don't blame her for standing in front.
Bournemouth going to make another switch, it seems. Let's go with Jenna Markham, another goal scorer.
Number 22, Jenna Markham, replaced by number 26, Ellen Bloomfield.
Markham off, Bloomfield on. Six minutes plus any additional time for Bournemouth to try and see out. Both sides, this is their debut in the final of the National League Plate. No side has ever won it more than once. It would really cap off a wonderful season for Bournemouth if they can get more silverware in this one.
Yeah, and I think both teams have different motivations. We obviously, having won the league already, want to continue to win as many trophies and titles as we can. But for a team like Cheltenham, who, whilst they're in a respectable position in Tier 3, they haven't won a trophy this year. So for them, this is their one shot, and I think that's going to give them extra motivation to put everything into this game.
Well, they're certainly throwing caution to the wind and sending everyone up, bar a couple of players, to take this one. It's quite a diagonal delivery, and Bournemouth get it away slightly. Emily Owen swipes at it, doesn't connect. It's going to be a throw. That pressure is just turning up as we enter the final five. Erin Bloomfield getting into the thick of the action immediately. It's headed only backwards. Phoebe Williams tries to help it on. And well, I thought McGuinness won the ball there. There's a little smile there from Lily Wellesley-Davis. I think she knows that she has been fairly fortuitous with that one.
And again, as a forward, they're looking for them little challenges where they know that their defender's foot's going to be out. She's just left her foot in. It's unlucky for Gemma.
Yeah, it's going to be a booking, it would seem, and Wellesley-Davis has got the ball under her arm.
And Gemma's not going to be happy with that. She's a really strong player, and if she means to foul you, she'll foul you. So I think she'd probably be a bit gutted she's got a yellow card for that, when that's in Gemma's mind isn't even a real tackle.
It did look, even on the replay, that she had won the ball. I was fairly... It just seems a case of she's won the ball, but the ball has stopped, so any momentum means that anybody involved in that challenge sort of spins out of control.
Yeah, and again, the Cheltenham players done it on purpose. It's tactical. They've got 5 minutes to try and get something out of it, so I don't blame them. It's just unfortunate.
Wellesley-Davis with a delivery. It's going to come towards the back post, where it's going to fall to a Bournemouth head. And they take no chances and hit that well over halfway, and already charging forward is Phoebe Williams. A bit of a slice on that one, and Kenny Thompson has dived into the challenge. Fairly, says the referee, but it is going to be a throw Bournemouth's way. Another substitution for the Cherries.
Substitution for AFC Bournemouth, number Gemma McGuinness, replaced by number 23, Chloe Gilroy.
Well, Chloe Gilroy is coming on for Gemma McGuinness, and do you think that is just Steve Cuss being careful? She's just got herself on a booking. They know that Cheltenham are going to throw even more at them in the final few minutes. The last thing you want to do is be dealing with that with 10 players.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the case. I think that's the reason why KJ and Jenna have gone off too, because they've all been playing well. They know that these last 5 minutes we're going to have to throw our body at it, and it's going to be a lot of 1v1 defending, and Chloe's more than capable of doing that. And you know, it is always dangerous when you are on a yellow card, especially in a final when tensions are high.
Well, Baron Clark the latest to be thrown to the floor, but it is going to be a Cherries free kick. They've sent a few players forward to try and see if they can wrap this one up. Hall has really put that where Emily Owen will just head it straight out towards that right hand side, out of play for a throw, but the ball in the right area for the Cherries. Intrigued to see as we enter the final 60 seconds just how much additional time there will be for Bournemouth to see out. Bloomfield holds up the ball nicely and goes safely back to Williams, now in the middle with Hall. Immediately looking for the ball on that far post to the number 23. They do keep it in, back to Bowers. And it's a bit too short for the full-back, and the clearance from Cheltenham left by Hall. Bournemouth trying to wind down the clock as much as they can. And maybe it's going to be a time in these next few minutes where some of the dark arts of the game will be seen. Cheltenham win that. Bloomfield not able to get on that one either, but Molly Barron-Clark, who is still absolutely everywhere. Gilroy. Bowers strong in the challenge. Phoebe Williams tries to find it, goes through the legs of the defender, and Bloomfield was throwing herself at it. Lou doesn't win the aerial challenge, but Butcher will try and pick it up, leaves her studs in on Barron-Clark, who thankfully not much of a connection, otherwise that could have been quite nasty. It's going to be 7 additional minutes.
We've indicated a minimum of 7 minutes and time.
A little smile from you there, Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not on camera. My face is not, well, we're in full control. I feel very confident, but obviously in a moment like this, you'd rather only be 1 or 2 minutes as is.
Bloomfield is thrown to the floor in that corner of the pitch, but shows her boot to the lineswoman.
And I think this is good when you've got players like Erin on, that she can hold it up in the corner. She's so strong, she's so tall. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's our tactic for the last 7 minutes.
Well, Alicia Buckingham is going to come on for Kenny Thompson.
Number 25, Kenny Thompson, replaced by number 19, Alicia Buckingham.
All the goal scorers for the Cherries now off the pitch. As Bournemouth have now got themselves 5.5 minutes of additional time to wind down. Williams attempts to get the ball in the box, but that's just going to be a goal kick, and it's actually been given a corner. Well, the body language from all the players thought it was going to be a goal kick, but Bournemouth have got themselves a corner. Whip this into the box or play it short?
It's so difficult because we have such good ball winners. By the looks of it, if Erin's going over, I would assume we're playing it short. She's one of our strongest players, really good at shielding it. So whilst they want it in the back of the net, I think we might try and hold it in the corner.
Might have to be a gritty final 5 as Erin Bloomfield does get that short ball. Unfortunately, he's not able to keep it for very long, and Cheltenham have got a throw. Butcher, who's been another player, who's been absolutely everywhere. No chances from Gilroy. Another throw. Well, the referee had signalled for a substitution, but I don't think the player was quite ready. Doesn't even know if they can come on just at the moment. Well, it's going to be Abby Haitley who's going to be replaced by Ellis Brooke.
Substitution for Cheltenham Town, number 3, Abby Haitley, replaced by number 18, Ellis Brooke.
Well, that confusion will only help Bournemouth as the ball rolls out of play. And that takes a few minutes off the 7 that were added. 4 to go, 3.5 really. Gilroy, Ali Hall. Bournemouth just a few minutes away from making history, getting silverware as Erin Bloomfield goes head to head, and Bournemouth have won it in a good area, and Gilroy is actually, I think, gone for goal as it's awkwardly bounced, and Phoebe Williams had a chance to wrap the game up and has missed from just about 5 yards out.
That was a difficult one, the way it was coming down, but it just shows that this team does not give up, and if we can get another goal, they're not afraid to get in the box and try.
There's another ball that we've lost this afternoon.
We're on about 6 or 7 now, aren't we?
They'll have to pay a fee each
Yeah.
time. Well, Cherries so close to getting a 4th and getting the plate nicely wrapped up with a bow, but they still have a couple of minutes as Bloomfield, great strength, out towards Gilroy, who swipes it into the box, and at the far post it was going to be Phoebe Williams as she tries from a similar position. Bournemouth keeping the pressure up really in the final throws of this game. Buckingham holding it in the corner.
She's another one with really good footwork, so I'm not surprised she's made that decision.
And she's doing really well at the moment, just the seconds tick down. She's still going. Bit of a arm around the neck there, but nothing doing, says Alice Parker. Bournemouth will come again. And it's now going to fall to a red and white shirt. Trewick, big header on that one, but it does mean that Cheltenham will have a throwing opportunity on halfway, chance to throw a few players forward for it as well into the final 2 minutes of additional time.
Ooh. Yeah, shove in the back.
Well, the lineswomen had flagged for Bournemouth's way. It's tense around the M Group Stadium at the moment. We're surrounded by Cherries fans, and there's a few bits of nail biting going on, but Bournemouth have got it where they want it. And I think the manager, Tom Davis, for Cheltenham, has got a yellow card. As much as there's the ironic cheers, he's a passionate man. He'll be wanting his players to be able to try and squeeze something out of the final couple of minutes. And Bournemouth win another free kick high up the pitch. And they are so close. So close to victory. And don't want to jinx anything, Charlotte, but are you starting to think that they may just do it now?
I would hope so, yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do on this free kick. It looks like they're going to keep it in the corner, which I don't blame them. But yeah, just counting down the seconds, really.
They do go short, but Cheltenham poke it away from them and will launch this one forward. Hall is equal to that. Lou continues to chase. Out of play for a throw. Cheltenham's way. You think that this is going to be their final chance to really try and launch it forward into enemy territory. Bournemouth, again equal to that. Bloomfield tries to poke it past the defender. She goes down, wins another free kick, and you really think that the plate is going to be the Cherries.
Erin's done really well since she's come on, just throwing her body at everything, winning free kicks.
Finn Llewellyn goes into the book. I don't think she's really going to care. Molly Barron-Clark just gesticulating for players just to focus. Of course, 7 minutes were added. We've had a couple of stoppages. How much is that going to be? The ball has bounced over the head of the Cheltenham defender. It's not going to be Cheltenham's day, but it is going to be the Cherries. Fans waiting for the full-time whistle, and there it is! Bournemouth are the FA Women's National League Plate Final winners for 2025. It's another bit of silverware to top off what has been a sensational season for the Cherries. They got the game, you thought, wrapped up at half-time 3-1. Cheltenham got themselves back in the match at 3-2 with 15 to go. But Bournemouth defended resolutely. Everything that then Cheltenham threw at them, they threw straight back at the Robinesses. And Charlotte, it's a fantastic day.
I think thoroughly deserved. I think Cheltenham put up a great fight, like you said, but I think Bournemouth have been the better team today. We've been more clinical, we've created more chances, and I'm so happy for the girls. I feel like we really deserve this, and going into Wednesday, it's just another boost of confidence that we can compete in everything we do.
FA Women's National League Plate Final is AFC Bournemouth 3, Cheltenham Town 2. Congratulations to our winners.
There's lots of hugs of Stripple and Katie James. Celebrate with Katie Scadding. You talk about Erin Bloomfield when she came on, purely with the job of really just to be that physical outlet at the top, win the ball, hold it up there, and she did that with aplomb.
Yeah, and I think we're such a selfless team. We know that each game is going to require a different role, and every player is happy to play their role. So I think Erin today, she's come on, she's done her job, as is all the subs that have come on. I think they've been great. So the standard never dropped, and yeah, I'm just so happy that everyone got to play a part.
What do you reckon the celebratory meal is going to be tonight? Pizza, Chinese?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. Yeah, maybe a bit of pizza. But again, we've got a game on Wednesday. So I'm sure Steve will be saying to them, you know, of course you want to celebrate. You know, you've deserved it. But now that we've got 2 for 3, I feel like we're going to be hungry to win another piece of silverware on Wednesday. So focus shifts to Wednesday now.
Well, the players are coming over to the fans on this near side where we're sat. So many loyal supporters who've made the trip up to Oxford. And they've been given something to cheer, something to celebrate. They've won a national competition, national silverware. And not only that, they've shown that they can compete, and more than compete, with those teams in Tier 3. I mean, how much, Charlotte, does that, you know, another feather in the cap of Steve Cuss. He's built a side, you included, that can go to Tier 3 with confidence that you can get victories against those teams around you.
100%, and I think considering this is our first exposure to a Tier 3 team, they'll be delighted. I think this will give us a boost that not only can we compete, but next year with more prep and time, that we can be a real force in Tier 3, and who knows, you know, we can be successful next year too.
Well, Ellie Stripple there
The
just
trophy
receiving.
presentation will take place shortly on the pitch.
Ellie Stripple there just a moment ago in arms with some of the coaching staff. Of course, it was her goal that has really won this game in the end, that third goal. Now, Charlotte, at this point, would you like to go and see if you can get yourself in those trophy celebrations?
I would love to. If you see me screaming on the field, just ignore me.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you
No,
today
thank you
to
so
co-commentate.
much.
You've been superb. I certainly don't want to deny you going and
All right,
getting involved
I'm
in those.
sprinting on, up the Cherries.
That huddle on the pitch as we await for that trophy lift. Bournemouth victorious on day. Steve Cuss telling the players just how much that performance means to him, means to them as a group. They've had such a superb, a sterling season, and this really caps it off to win a competition at the national level, compete and beat with a side that they'll be facing next season in Tier 3. They'll take great confidence from that, and of course seeing how Exeter City have competed in Tier 3 this season, right up at the top, third in the division. The side that pit them to the post last campaign. And the celebrations start being led by Katie James in the middle. And Molly Barron-Clark, who had quite a torrid second half in terms of just being involved in a number of bruising challenges, being winded. It's her superb day for the Cherries women as the podium and the trophy just get set up. And we await for that wonderful occasion.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Steve Cuss, congratulations, a famous double. Give us your reaction to the game.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. I thought it was a real tough game. I thought you saw the two sides of us today that we've been so strong at. I thought first half we were excellent, you know, scored 3 goals, could have had a few more really on top. And then you saw the other side to us that we... They were not beaten at 3-1. I thought they, you know, that first half, as I said, we were very good, but they came out second half and defended very well, but got the ball forward a lot earlier and put us under pressure. And you know, I'm really pleased that we were able to defend that and see it over the line.
No respite, another treble to go for as well.
Yeah, we got the Hampshire Cup on Wednesday, and as I said to the players, yeah, you've got to enjoy this moment. So we'll enjoy this one and get ready for Wednesday.
Steve Cuss there, absolutely thrilled with his side's victory, and it really encapsulates what a terrific season this has been, a record-breaking season. Cheltenham fought tooth and nail to get back into the game, and they very nearly did. They certainly put the fear into the Cherries when Emily Owen found the back of the net with 15 minutes to go with a fantastic header. But Bournemouth coming up against the side that really took them to the wire, defending so well. And it all began after about 11 minutes where the ball fell to Kenny Thompson, who after a lovely turn found the back of the net with an excellent drive into that far corner. Gemma McGuinness found Jenna Markham in so much space at the back post to double Bournemouth's lead shortly after, and from then you thought it was going to be plain sailing for the rest of the game. But Una Lu, the danger for Cheltenham, her cross-come shot went straight through the gloves of Erin Foley, who won't want to see that one again, to give Cheltenham a way back in the game. And then Ellie Stripple with a fantastic half volley just a few minutes later as Bournemouth regained that 2-goal advantage. And that's how things finished at half-time. But with 15 minutes to go, Emily Owen, the captain, pulling her side back into the game with that looping header. And it looked, for all the money, that maybe Cheltenham may just use that momentum to get themselves back on level terms and force into extra time. But Bournemouth victorious on the day as we await the players to go and collect their medals and lift the National League plate.
We would like to welcome back our guests of honour, Sue Hoff, Chair of the FAWNL Board, and Mr Lawrence Jones, Head of National League Pyramid Leagues. They will now be making the presentations to our teams and officials. But firstly, please put your hands together for today's match officials. Referee Alice Parker.
Referee Alice Parker, not necessarily the most liked character by Bournemouth fans towards the end of the game.
Assistant referee Dessa Griffin.
But she certainly let the game flow on numerous occasions as the officials just get their medals. Lola Pollard there after Daisy Griffin and Jessica Knapp. Of course, Cheltenham will be up next to collect their runners-up medals before the Cherries lift the plate.
I can announce that today's player of the match, as selected by our guests of honour, is player number 25 from AFC Bournemouth, Kenny Thompson.
Cheers around as Kenny Thompson is announced as the player of the match, and she got things going, as we saw in the replays just a few moments ago. Struck the bar from a free kick as well, and in the second half just lost her footing at the back post, which meant that her shot went straight down the throat of Caris Pugh-Jones. She had a fantastic game.
It takes two great teams to provide such an entertaining final. So please show your appreciation for our runners-up. We would like to invite Emily Owen to lead her team to collect their runners.
Emily Owen, the Robinesses captain, applauds Bournemouth as she walks to collect her medal, her goal, getting her side back into the game. She was a pillar of strength throughout the match, and they thought potentially that that goal would get her side back on level terms, force extra time. Unalu collecting hers as well, her goal in the first half, just for a few minutes, putting a bit of fear in the Cherries team. Of course, these players will go head-to-head next campaign after Cheltenham confirmed their status in Tier 3 after a 2-0 victory against Lewis at the end of March. So these two sides will lock horns again in Tier 3, and Bournemouth have shown that they can compete with those teams. Cheltenham, they may be 8th in the division, but only a few points separate those teams in that league. It's just a win or two could see them go up to 4th and 5th place. Tom Davis amongst the staff to collect his medal. He, of course, got booked towards the end of the game for just remonstrating with the referee. 126th game in charge, but not a happy one for him. But his side can certainly be proud that they didn't crumble. Bournemouth easily could have got themselves a 4th or a 5th. But Cheltenham did not let that happen. They fought right to the very end. And now we await Bournemouth.
Make some note for your words. AFC Bournemouth, who will now step forward to receive their winners' medals, led by Captain Abby Jones.
Cheers around the Emirates Stadium as here come the Cherries to collect their medals. Abby Jones being called to the front. Katie Scadding's just going to go anyway. Emma McGuinness, who had a fantastic game as well. Molly Barron-Clark, who covered every blade of grass. Erin Foley as well, making a couple of really good saves in that second half, low to her left. Katie James as well. And Ellie Stripple, a menace all game. They make their way. That's the title, the FA Women's National League Plate Champions for 2025. And they thoroughly deserved it this afternoon. The scoreline may say it was close towards the end, but in the first half they could have easily netted 4 or 5 as they line up, getting ready with Steve Cuss calling over his support staff, and Abby Jones, the last to join her teammates, the captain at just 21 years of age. Another superb physical performance as she waits to collect the plate.
To collect the FA Women's National Plate, crowning your winners, AFC Bournemouth.
fantastic sight. Bournemouth are the champions of the FA Women's National League plate. The winners. They've beaten Cheltenham by 3-2 in Oxford. Thoroughly deserved. And it wraps up a season that has been simply fantastic for the Cherries. They have the Hampshire Cup to compete on Wednesday night, but to get a trophy at National League level is exactly the kind of thing that can attract the players for next season as they take on Tier 3. They're ready, they can compete. And it's going to be a fantastic night for the Cherries. They are victorious. And they're able to celebrate with the fans as well. Steve Cuss poses with the National League plate. An award that he has thoroughly deserved as well. This side have broken all sorts of records this season. 1,000 minutes without conceding. So close to going 22 games won out of 22, but to coming to Swindon last time out. Co-commentator Charlotte Harris able to join the celebrations as well. Molly Barron-Clark posing with a medal and the trophy. Alicia Buckingham passing it over to Katie James.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Another player
Victorious captain Abby Jones. You must be
really
getting used to these presentations.
Yeah,
epitomise the ruggedness and togetherness of this team.
Well today, battled our absolute socks off. I'm so proud of the girls. Got another trophy under our belts.
Nice cushion at half time, but your goalkeeper made 2 important saves in the second half as well.
Yeah, definitely. Erin kept us in the game. We knew it was going to be a close game. We knew they were going to get chances, and they had that today. But Erin fortunately kept us in the game at the end.
Kenny Thompson, Ellie Stripple, Jenna Markham, goal scorers is what you need in the game.
Yeah, goal scorers is what we're all about. We need people who score moments in big games, and they did that today. Kept us in the game, and we scored one in the end.
You're wanted in the celebrations. Thank you.
Abby Jones relieved of media duties, able to celebrate with the team photo with the trophy. And so many Cherries fans have made the 100-mile trip up to Oxford to celebrate with them. Just the 2 games left to wrap up the season. The Hampshire Cup final on Wednesday night before Portishead in the league to round off a wonderful season for the Cherries, who have won this afternoon in the FA Women's National League plate by 3-2 against Tier 3 Cheltenham Town. They'll come up against them next season, but for now they can enjoy another bit of silverware to add to their growing total this season. Full time here on AFCB TV. Cheltenham Town 2, your winners of the FA Women's National League plate for 2025, AFC Bournemouth.